Hello and welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix at Circuit de Catalunya. First things first, there is strategy here. I could have chosen my McLaren that has a fully maxed out driver and principal, but I'm going to have to buy tuning. And so if I do that, I'm going to be throwing away Principal XP. And that is the most limited thing you're going to see in the Formula One series. There's only enough Principal XP to maximize 4 principals. So if you ever want to maximize multiples, you got to plan this out ahead of time. Here I'm just showing you where I'm currently at. So I've chosen someone that I still have 2 spots left on my Principal XP, and that takes a lot of points to maximize him. And then my driver is also not quite maximized. So that means that everything I earn today will actually go into the bank. I won't be wasting anything. So the driver XP, the Principal XP, and all of the M dollars will be something I can keep. So for the first few stages, I will be above the required PR. So that's going to make it easier on me. Now, I've never driven this car at Circuit de Catalunya, so I really don't know my braking points, and obviously my tires are horrible right now. There's a lot of things you can do at this track to make time if you have to. By the way, I don't know if you noticed that I was actually catching draft even though I was beside him. So side drafting actually works in this game. It's kind of funny. There's things you can do at Circuit de Catalunya to cut time. So there's off-track cuts you can take if you want to make up time, unless of course it says no off-track cuts. I recommend knowing both methods because it certainly comes in handy sometimes to know how to take an off-track cut without totally losing it. However, if you do that too much, you don't learn how to take the track properly, which means you could be giving up a lot of time when you're forced to drive all on track. And I totally expect we're going to see that at some point during this event. Some of you know that you've got a little tag there that says this is a hard event. Well, the last time they said an event was hard, it was ridiculously easy. So we'll see if this one actually gets hard or what happens. You know, I'm going to do the whole event here. And I'm going to make nice use of the instant servicing. I love that they're giving us that in basically every event now. That's really cool. Boy, in the old days, we'd be watching ads so much just to service the car all the time. So I love that they're doing this in these events. And the instant R&D is nice too, especially when you've got some cars that could take 12 hours to apply those upgrades. Okay, so we're cruising along here. I'm actually going to switch over my speed here, because the target speed was 176 miles per hour, perfectly even. And I don't know how hard that's going to be or not. I also turned on TSM names, don't know if you noticed that. I turn that off when I'm really pushing it in time trials because I just get distracted by seeing these names flash around. It gives me a bit of a cleaner screen. But then it's sometimes nice to know, who's behind me, who am I catching up to? And speed target here with my PR, of course, it's going to be nothing to worry about. Okay, something else I did not mention yet, and that is that if you're starting this event with a base car with no PR at all, it's going to be expensive. You'll have to fully maximize your tuning and buy either driver or principal level ups or a bit of both. This will be the most expensive Grand Prix event we've had so far as the required events are. The events that had recommended PR, I finished those substantially lower. So for me, this could represent the most expensive event. That's another reason why I'm picking a car that I already have a lot of level ups on. And that way I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm getting closer to opening the Invitational Series. Wow, was that ever horrible? Well, now that I did that, let's go for a crazy dramatic finish. I'll do a spinning donut across the line. That's kind of fun sometimes. And okay, also I'm close to maximizing my principal, and I really don't care about that very much. It does double my durability. That's nice for time trials. For this car, I do care about that. And then it gives me instant free switches with tuning setups, and that's also kind of handy. But I'm not going to put that on all of my cars or even on 4 of the cars because I just don't want to spend that gold. The amount of gold I need to spend to maximize a principal, I just don't see the monetary benefit of it. It's maximizing the driver that opens the Invitational Series. So if I'm going to do anything, that's what I'm going to do. Even that, I'm not all that inclined to do. because it takes a ton of work, a ton of time to earn all that driver XP, and then I'm not going to earn back the currency that I spend. So I only want to do this. Oh boy, that was horrible. I'm having trouble nailing that breaking point. There's all these shadows, and I keep missing which one I'm supposed to be choosing. Anyway, we'll get it figured out yet. Anyhow, my McLaren's already maxed, and that's a great car, but this Mercedes in the year 2020 in Real Racing 3 is certainly one of the top cars, if not maybe the actual top car, but, you know, comes down to driving ability in this game. And the race ends as soon as you pass those 3 cars. Can't pass them before the straight section there, or turn 1. It kind of lists all these places you could. I wasn't even sure I could pass them right there, but it didn't fail me. Now, this one, none of these are really all that difficult, so just, you know, take your time to learn the track. We've got degrading tires. I believe this one said you've got to finish with at least something left, so don't finish with 0 tires. How do you stop that from happening? Avoid going off track and avoid skidding. Those things are going to degrade your tires very fast. And it's interesting because the opposite happens when you need to heat up your tires. Off track will actually take some heat out of those tires, but skidding really adds heat to those tires. One thing you might not know, a lot of times you'll hear me talking about taking 2 tires off track to get better trajectory, and when there's an event like this where your tires are degrading, 2 tires off track usually does degrade things quicker. So in this game there's 2 things as regarding off track. There's off track that gets you disqualified, which is when all 4 tires are off track. That's the only time you're at actual off track. You only need 1 tire on track. Had a couple of conversations about this recently. Test it for yourself. Bring your car to a dead stop and inch your way off the track on a section that you know is off track. Best place to do this is an endurance race, because you'll instantly see red when you're off track. You'll find out you only need 1 tire on track, but that'll cause you to degrade faster. So here I'm finishing. I've got, no trouble in the time commitment. Not much trouble in the tire degradation either. And there we go. So usually these events are really easy. And there we go. Done stage 1. If you like what you're seeing, please press like. Please subscribe. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be running this one flat out. I'm not going to do any bot slowing. I'm going to go boom, boom, boom to see how hard it can get. And that may really backfire on me, but I'm doing it anyways. We're just see how hard this event can get. Can I make it? Well, stay tuned to see. Stage 2 coming up soon.